Never done anything like this before. Hey friend, good morning. Never done anything like this before, but this is a day in the life of the one, the only, Liz Wilcox. What up? Liz Wilcox here. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? Oh my gosh, I see so many people jumping in already. Hey guys, I am wicked excited. I have never done anything like this before where I did like an Ask Me Anything, taking live questions, asking people to submit questions, and it only took me until this very moment to make a wicked cool introduction. So I hope you guys saw that and I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to be doing something totally different. I actually, like a real YouTuber, like a real vlogger, whatever you want to say, filmed myself for the whole day. I did it on my cell phone because my camera wasn't working. Of course not. You're trying to do something and the camera wasn't working. So I did it on my cell phone. I recorded myself all day today just for you guys to take you through like a day in the life of Liz Wilcox. Of course, I promised an RV tour, but if you guys haven't noticed by now, I always like to do things a little differently. So I said, instead of an RV tour, why don't I give them like a RVer tour and I just show them a day in the life of how I RV, how I live in my RV, stuff like that. So hey guys, exploring nomad. Hey, I think that's Kyle. He says Liz Wilcox in the house. Yeah, baby. Exploring the local life. Thanks. That was fun to make. Kelly's here. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Larry's here. He's in Blue Springs, Missouri, just east of Kansas City. Hey, I've been to Kansas City before. Trina's here. Terras here. Hey guys, I saw so many comments. Kevin's here from Kansas City. So yeah, so I'm going to take you through a day in the life of Liz Wilcox. Of course, the tour will be in those videos, but I split it up because of course I got a ton of questions. I know you guys showing up live, you're going to have questions for me. So I split it up kind of like morning, afternoon, right before the show. And if you've bought Fix It Yourself, the maintenance course I made with Ed, you know I do an all right job with editing, but I'm not perfect. So the videos, you know, I filmed them and then edited them today. So they're not perfect, but I think they're super fun anyway. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how my morning went. I want to wash my hands and brush my teeth. But look at that. Gotta love this water pressure. This is my world, y'all. Yep, we're gonna go to the gym. Say good morning, virtual campers.
I can't run. I like campers because I'm jealous of them.
You're jealous of campers? This is my daughter, Chelsea. I don't share her very much on the virtual campground pictures and such, but here she is. She does exist.
You're talking to those?
Yeah, this is going to go on my show tonight when you are at the mall with Daddy. Is he going to take you to the mall tonight?
Yeah, we are going today.
Yeah. So, Chelsea, is this your bedroom?
Yeah.
What's in your bedroom?
Oh, babies.
Your stuffed animals all over there. So this is Chelsea's baby corner. She's got stuffed animals like crazy. And last night,
I want my baby.
they're right here. She made all sorts of beds. She took all the books from her bed and stacked them up. And as you can see, she thinks she's really clever. But anyway, it's 8:40. We need to leave in 20 minutes. So I need to get a little bit of work done. So after I brush my teeth, wash my hands, I usually sit here for a few minutes, get some work done. This is Jeff Goins' stuff. This is Facebook. Only 4 requests and 25 notifications. Great. Exit out of that. Try not to spend too much time on Facebook. And then usually the first thing I do is I go to my Gmail. There's some of y'all right now. Oh, only 55 new emails. 82 to get to that I haven't opened. Hey, I got a new comment. Let's see what that one is. Hopefully it's not hate mail. This was on RV Park Living, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Gosh, I wrote that probably 2 years ago. Comment, living in the upper desert and getting sick of 20-degree mornings. We're thinking of getting a trailer and spending our winters in Yuma. Awesome, Jerry Charles Machu III. I'm going to get a little bit of work done before I need to leave for the gym in 20 minutes. So wish me luck. Work done. I got my hair up. I'm dressed. Got my wallet, my water. Let's go to the gym. Like 10 seconds trying to find the right lighting. I don't know how all these YouTube vloggers do it, filming themselves all day. This is really hard. Anyway, I'm in the car. I'm in my husband's Subaru. It's a Legacy Outback or something. See what I'm talking about? Here, maybe. Nope, that did nothing. Anyway, yesterday I should have done this. I shouldn't have procrastinated until Tuesday morning, day of show. Yesterday, a tree branch came and totally broke the windshield of my Ford Focus, so I'm in my husband's car today. It's a manual, and it's kind of fun to drive, so let's do this. Alright, I saw in the comments, Kyle was asking, hey Liz, how's the RV? I don't think I saw any updates since the tree incident. Yeah, you guys, this just goes to show you that you should never procrastinate. Because if I would have done this video yesterday instead of today, it would have been way more exciting, let me tell you. So, yeah, Terra, insanity. Yesterday, so, okay, let me preface. If you get my newsletter, you know that I went to a conference this weekend. If you see Pamela Hodges in the comments, say, hey, she's one of my friends I went to the conference with. And so I got home really late, probably around 11 o'clock, went to bed at midnight, got up really early the next morning. Ed woke up, and, you know, he gets up around 5:30, and I just woke up and I couldn't fall back asleep, so I just got up at 5:30, went to the gym just like I did today. And oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't go to the gym. I had a meeting, and then I had to go to the Ford dealership actually for that car to get it fixed. For some reason I had an appointment. I came home. I was just really tired. I was working while we were at the Ford dealership, and then I was reading books to Chelsea, and it really exhausted me. And so I came home, 5 hours of sleep, and I put on a movie for Chelsea, and I said, I'm just going to go up into your room, and I'm just going to rest. You know, I'm probably going to fall asleep for about 30 minutes. And so I was laying down, and all of a sudden, I mean, I was right here, right? The pointing, you guys, is so hard. What the hell? I was right there. Anyway, I was right there, and I heard boom. And I knew a tree branch. I mean, I'm in Florida. There's all these Spanish moss everywhere. I knew a tree branch had just fallen, but it was so loud. It was so scary. I immediately got up. I ran to the back. I grabbed Chelsea because I wanted to go outside. I didn't know if, you know, the rest of the branch was going to fall and cave in. You see those horror stories on Facebook, right? Of, oh my gosh, a tree branch went through my trailer. You know, my dog died or whatever. I've been seeing those a lot lately because of all the tornadoes in the Midwest and everything. And so I open the door with Chelsea, and my neighbors are out there, and that's what I see, right? Yeah, Heidi says, that's crazy. Glad you weren't in the car. Exploring the local life, that's so scary. Linda says, glad you weren't in the car when the tree decided to lay down. Yeah, so I see it, and you guys know me, I'm a pretty relaxed person, and the neighbors are looking at me like, it's like two older men, and they're like, oh man, we saw the whole thing happen. And I literally went, safe light repair, safe light replace, because the windshield is completely broken. And that was the first thing I heard or thought of. I have full coverage, and we actually have Florida insurance. And Florida, as long as you pay like above the bare minimum, they'll replace your windshield for free. So I wasn't stressed. I was just so glad. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I could have just died right now. If that had been any heavier, it would have fallen on top of my body, because the way the car and the RV are parked right next to each other like this, and the branch fell like this, so it hit the RV first and then toppled like into the car windshield. So some of the branch was actually in my car. And so I didn't care about the windshield. I didn't care about the car. I hate that car anyway. That car is a piece of crap. Like I just said, I was just at the shop for this car this morning. I've had that transmission replaced 3 times. So I didn't care about the car. I was just glad that I'm an adult that pays insurance. And I was just so grateful that the branch didn't break through the RV or, hurt me or my daughter. So I was just totally fine. Heidi says you should be on a commercial for them. Yeah, seriously. I thought excellent branding. If you're into business and branding, they were the first ones I thought of, which I'm sure is exactly what they want. But anyway, oh my gosh, it was just such an ordeal. I tried to call Ed, but he's in school. He's not allowed to have his phone on him. But I had to go inside the car to get my paperwork to call my insurance, because I didn't know my insurance number, all that. And there was just glass everywhere. It was really scary in that retrospect, or in that moment. And Chelsea was like, oh no, my car. And to give you some context, when we left the car at the Ford dealership that morning, when we got it back, she literally kissed the car. I don't know if it's because we live in an RV and life was changing so much in the last year, but she's going through this real attachment thing right now, where she's just super attached to her stuff, and she just loves that car. And so she literally went when she got the car, and then an hour later, boom, it's completely smashed. She was pretty upset. But the tow truck came, took it away. Insurance set us up with a rental car. Everything's totally fine. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. If you have any questions about me, about my RV life, pop them in the comments as we move through this format of sharing my day. I would love to answer them. Mike says, I speak for all here. We are really glad you and your daughter are unhurt. Seriously, it was crazy, because I do see I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I've seen, I feel like in the last year, a few people die from this type of accident, and it's really scary. So I'm feeling really seriously blessed today to be here with you guys. Linda says, you may not like the car, but Chelsea is attached for sure. Yeah, now after this, because there's some dents in the side where the tree hit, and it fell and scraped the door. I don't think we're ever going to get rid of this car. Nobody's ever going to buy it. We've had so many problems with it. Johnny, I love this idea. Course add-on for Fix It Yourself. How to check your RV roof membrane after being hit by tree branches and hail. That's actually a really good idea. Terras says, did you get a sweet rental? So we went to the rental place, and I saw a Camaro. And so this is a funny story. I always get like a sweet rental. It doesn't matter. Like the last, I think 4 times I've got a rental car, I've gotten like a convertible or something. Just, I don't know. I guess I just manifested, or somebody likes me, and the car rental god likes me. I don't know. So we got there, and I saw the Camaro, and I saw Ed. He was taking care of business. I was in the car with Chelsea. Like I said, she's upset about the car being broken. And I see the Camaro convertible, and I see Ed come out, and he's pointing to some other car. And so I got out of the car, and I said, Is that Camaro available? And the guy said, actually, it's not. Somebody rented it for like a month, and it came back, and it had all these modifications. It had like new wheels and a new spoiler and all this stuff. And he said, you know, we're not allowed to rent it out right now because we need to get rid of the modifications or something. And I just thought that was really weird. Who would do that? Who would modify a car that, I mean, they must have just a lot of money. Johnny says it's my bubbling personality. Yeah, I think so. I just, when I go out, I like to compliment people wherever I go. If I go to a store or, you know, car rental place, I always try to compliment people. So I guess they pick up on that and give me convertibles. I don't know. Oh, I love this, Linda. Have Chelsea put a Band-Aid on the scratches. She can fix its boo-boo. All right, so take you through my day. We're about to hit the gym. I go to a boot camp type of gym. I've been going for about 6 weeks now that we're stationary in Tampa. I really super like it, and I think this next video actually shows what we did after the gym, and it gives you the full tour of the RV. So as we're going through, be sure to pop in the comments any questions. I'm in the RV right now, so if I miss something, you guys say, hey, I'd like you to show more of XYZ, and we can actually do that right now if you guys are interested. So let's get to it. I'm done with the gym. Holy crap, that was really hard. My legs feel like jello. I forgot to feed Chelsea. Shoot. And we are on E. So let's go get some gas. So this is obviously a video of me pumping gas, looking really cool, and then Chelsea and I go into the gas station and get some Cheetos and a Mountain Dew. Now the day at 10:30 a.m. can really start. Alright, so we made it home from the gym. One of the very first things that I do when I get home after the gym, before I even make myself lunch, anything, is turn this damn air conditioner off. Seriously, that is one of the most annoying sounds to me. I hardly ever have the air conditioner on if Ed is not home. Of course, Ed, he's from Connecticut. He likes the winter, things like that. So he doesn't like to be hot. Chelsea and I, we don't really mind. I can close curtains over here, you know, and keep it relatively cool in here. Right now it's 10:57 a.m. So if I turn it back on around 3, that gives me like 4 hours without air conditioning. And usually around 3 is when it starts to get noticeably warm for both Chelsea and I. So we turn it back on around 3. Ed gets home between 4 and 6 p.m. So if I know he's not getting home till later, if he's going out for a bike ride or something, I will actually only turn it on for about 20 or 30 minutes and turn it back off. Because I cannot stand the noise. It is one of the worst sounds to me. Like, I'm one of those people that hates the bathroom fan. I hate any sounds of fans. Like, all that buzzing noises. I can't stand those noises. So I rarely have the air conditioner on. But anyway, while we're here, before we get into the rest of my day, I'll give you a little tour of the kitchen. I just put on a movie for Chelsea. Usually after we come home from the gym, I'll let her watch TV or play, depending on what she wants to do, for about 90 minutes, and I'll just work for 90 minutes, get as much done as I can before we go take a shower and do anything we're going to do for the day. So this is my kitchen. This is why Ed hates to cook. He's a big guy, you know, his head comes up to here, and there's just not a lot of room to cook. We do have one of these things, but it's broken. Yeah, so it doesn't actually work. We can take this cutting board and put it over the sink, you know what I'm talking about? But it's really actually wobbly and not very sturdy. So it's, you know, we don't normally actually do that to use it as like a cooking surface. But yeah, so this is where all the clean dishes go. So there's also not room here. It's about that much space, and I'll do an overview and put it over. There's actually not any room really to prepare food right here either. So there is like about, you know, this wide of space that I'll use right here, and maybe this wide of space on the other side of the oven that I use. Here's the kitchen from the other view. Yeah, so you can see what I'm talking about. This thing is broken. There's not really much room. If there's dishes there, forget about preparing food, etc. So normally, like, I'll literally put this right here and chop here, or I'll chop, you know, since the knife is right here, I'm just like, well, I'll just chop it right there, whatever. Yeah, I thought, well, I should probably clean, but this is more, you know, real life. We keep it real here at the virtual campground. That should be on a shirt. What do you guys think? Keeping it real at the campground or something like that? That would be funny. So, you know, you got the grease, and I'm soaking pans from last night. Keep my oil. Camping hack, pro tip or whatever. Buy a bunch of spices in one thing so you don't have a ton of spices. Yeah, so this is just about the only modification we've done in the rig, and I actually love it. It's close to shopping day, so normally it's really full, but right now it just has my rotten sweet potatoes and my rotten avocado and some paperwork I don't know what to do with, but I don't want to throw away yet. And then this is our cabinet up top. Do not ask. I don't know. I'm only 5 feet tall, so I literally cannot reach up there. So that's Ed's shebang. And then down here, that is seriously, minus cooking pans, is just everything we own. We have 4 little plates, 4 big. We have 3 bowls. We used to have 4. I don't know what happened. A ton of mugs. This is the Better For Your mugs that sometimes I use, and I know Mike the mailman, if you're watching right now, I know you have one of these. You bought one. It's called Better For Your. Yeah, pretty much it. This is my blender, mixing bowls, and then in the oven, ta-da! We never bake. I actually would like to get rid of these and start baking some more, but we've only used this oven once, a year ago for Mother's Day. I wanted brownies. And then down here are our bowls. Like I said, I am a true minimalist. Not bowls, pots and pans, you know what I'm saying. So there's really, there's like nothing under there. There used to be a crock pot. It died, and I haven't gotten a new one yet. There's the garbage, super exciting. And then trash, glass cleaner. There's some Tupperware back here. Yeah. And then this is our junk drawer. Like I said, I'm a minimalist, so there's really, it's the smallest drawer in the house. As you could see up here, Ed is not a minimalist, so he's like, screw that tiny ass junk drawer. I'm taking it all the way to the top. But it's like iron pills, stuff like that. I just want to say that I think phones are meant for right-handed people. I'm left-handed, so I keep trying to grab the phone with my left hand, but as you can see, that's the problem. So I'm holding this with my right hand, but I just wanted to show you guys my fridge and my pantry. I am not, what's that girl, Joanna Gaines, Chip and Joanna Gaines, is that their name? They're the, like, home people. They've got a Target or Walmart collection now. Anyway, I am not them. We bought this rig over a year and a half ago. It still looks just about the exact same. We renovated once, it was totally crappy. We hated every second of it. We would never do it again. Well, we would pay. I would pay. Anyway, gosh, my hand is getting tired. This is terrible. These are the only pictures we have hanging up. We don't even have a picture of our daughter. And then this is something Ed got for Christmas from one of his customers. Says thank you for all your help. And then a little board. I like to put sweet little notes to Ed. Especially when I get in trouble. And then this is our pantry. This is my favorite thing. Oh, there's some more money for you. Our Wi-Fi password. And they just come out like that. Which is one of the reasons why I bought this RV, why I said it was a must. Was because I just love RVs where the pantry comes out. Quick side note, another reason I bought this RV was because of this desk. I thought, wow, that's amazing. An older Class C with a desk. I will have my own workspace. I have used that desk one time. Ed put that computer monitor there and hooked up the PlayStation, and it's just the TV center. So I've seriously only used it once. So what you think you might need or is an absolute must, usually just buy something, because you probably won't use it the way you think you will anyway. Like I said, Chelsea and I don't need the air conditioner on. Look at her. She's just chilling with a blanket right now. I don't even have the air on. It's like 85 degrees outside. And this is Chelsea's stuff. And I need to go through this. Usually I go through this like once a quarter, so 3-4 times a year. And as you can see, it's kind of crazy in here. Little Halloween costume, coloring books, puzzles, games, some Legos that apparently somebody found and didn't put back in the Lego bag. They just put them up here. He who must not be named. This is a box of toys. Chelsea's had the same box forever. I really need to go through this because it's all like baby toy stuff. See how short I am, people? Like, I can't even get myself in the shop. Maybe if I stand up on the slide. Oh, there we go. And stand on my tippy toes. Not that you guys don't know what I look like. But anyway, yeah, just some toys. Over to the other side. This last cabinet is her closet. And again, I need to kind of go through this. But, it's just little boxes. These are her shoes. I put like little underwear and socks down here, and then usually it's categorized like winter stuff, shorts, shirts, jammies, whatever. And these little boxes we actually got in our first fifth wheel. They just were inside of it, and I've just used this for her closet ever since we moved into the RV. And then up here I literally just stuff like dress up clothes up here that don't really need to be folded and we don't use that much. Station. When I do my show tonight, I'll have my microphone here. It'll be plugged in up here. This is our lights. We don't use these lights. We use LED lights that we just got from Home Depot. They're way easier on the electrical system and honestly much brighter. And then for my show tonight, I'll have a light put up here by the calendar and an extension cord that runs down and up to this outlet. Super fancy. Got this morning, but usually this bin is full. The books are on the floor right now. But Chelsea's little room. She has a lot of fun up here. She calls it her castle, and it's actually really big. Ed can lay up here, no problem. I can't. All three of us can go up there, no problem. And then the cab, which this is stationary RVing at its finest. We have a Class C motorhome. There's not, like, really any storage outside. honestly, looking at this gives me a little bit of anxiety. Like I said, I'm naturally very minimal, so obviously when we were traveling it didn't look like this, so I have no idea what is even up here, other than the dehumidifier, which is the perfect spot right there. And then when we actually use it, there's no outlet, so we bring that and put it right there for that outlet. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what this stuff is. There's some chains there. I have no idea what any of this stuff is. Yeah, I don't know what that stuff is. It gives me general anxiety. So now you guys know why I sit on this side of the dinette and look at the kitchen and such, because I have control over how clean the view is beyond this camera. But behind here, it's just, it's tools and Ed stuff and stuff that it's like a catch-all now that we're not moving around as much. But in general, I am a very minimal person. I used to live in a hotel room when I met Ed. So I've never owned a lot of stuff. So when I see a bunch of clutter, it really makes me a little anxious. Heidi says, I love emo. I'm assuming she means Elmo. Pamela says, very fancy. Yes. This is another thing that's very fancy in the rig right here. But anyway, yeah, if you guys have questions, we're going to take some questions right now. I do have a couple here, but as we move along, remember, I was stationary before. My husband was in the Army. We traveled for a year. Now we're stationary again. If you have any questions about that, about the process, the differences, why we went stationary again, let me know. I would love to answer any and all questions tonight. The reason why I'm doing this is, I always ask for people, like, who should I interview? Who should I come on next? And actually, I think I had 3 people. I think Sarah, who's not here tonight, she said, Liz, I've been following you for a while, but I don't know much about you, so maybe you should just interview yourself or something like that. And I think even my friend, maybe it was Camille or Julie, I don't know, they said, Liz, you should just do an Ask Me Anything. So here we are doing it. Johnny said, what make model of the RV do you have? Yeah, I noticed I didn't do an outside tour. I completely forgot about it. And we actually have a 2007 Jayco Greyhawk. And as you can see, it's a Class C motorhome. Before that, we had a 2006 Alpha CF fifth wheel. If you've ever heard of the Alpha, they are sturdy as hell. That thing weighed, I think dry, it weighed like 14 or 16,000 pounds just dry with nothing in it. Loved that RV. It was super comfortable for 3 people. Like, it was so spacious. We had so much counter space. We had a double fridge, all of that jazz. I even had a big desk like the size of my dinette. But we didn't want to move it. We moved it one time, and then we said no more. And we actually sold it 5 days after moving it. So we've been living in this RV since mid-October 2017. Heidi says, it's amazing how much space you actually have in your RV. I would add when it's clean. It gets dirty really, really quickly, and then it feels very small. But yeah, for being 32 feet with only 2 like very small slides, I feel like we do have a lot of space in here. Oh my gosh, Jules, we go full-time this Friday. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Everybody give her a round of applause. If you know how to do the emojis with the clapping, do that for Jules, because that is freaking awesome. Congratulations. Any questions you have, I'm here for you right this second, live, literally, Jules. Ask away, and there's tons of full-timers in the comments, too. Rini says, hey, Liz, I love your pantry. Hey, Rini, I love you. Awesome. Here we go. Here's the claps. Jules says thank you. Celeste says clap. Yeah, awesome. Congratulations. That's so exciting for you. Oh my gosh, unknown normal. This is a great question. I have so many. Who are your biggest comedic influences? If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of comedy. I'm trying to loosen up more. Sometimes obviously I'm a person. I get nervous during these lives. Sometimes I get lost. This is only the 18th episode. So I'm still learning, still going along, but I'd love by the end of the year for these to just be downright hilarious, for me to be in my zone, for us to just be having fun, to bring the games back, things like that. So thank you, Unknown Normal, for noticing that I'm trying to be funny. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the biggest comedic influences, obviously, I've mentioned this several times in the show, Jerry Seinfeld. I grew up watching that on Must See Thursday, his show, written by him and Larry David. I absolutely love Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld. If I saw one of them on the street or met them somehow, I don't know how I would react. I would be so nervous. I would be so excited. I might pass out. I don't know. I love them so much. I have Jerry Seinfeld socks. I have 2 or 3 Seinfeld shirts. Seinfeld is probably my very biggest influence, not just with comedy, but with life. I'm also a really, really big fan of Jim Carrey. I really like the story of him. He wrote himself a check for like $10 million or something, and it was going to be cashed by this date in 5 years or something like that. And he was able to cash it when he signed up with Dumb and Dumber for the movie Dumb and Dumber, and it was like almost to the date, like for the check. And so if you noticed in my rig, like I had like $100 bill, a $50 bill, a couple 20s, and I even had a check on my closet door, and that's written to myself, and that was from Jim Carrey. So not just a comedic influence, like just an influencer in my life. And I super duper love Jim Gaffigan. He's somebody I've been watching probably for about, oh my gosh, I want to say at least 15 years. When he had his very first comedy special on Netflix. Gosh, that might have even been 20 years ago, because I think I was still in middle school, and I was staying up late, unbeknownst to my mother, watching it, and I woke her up because I was laughing so hard, and I got in really big trouble for watching Comedy Central. But it's Jim Gaffigan. It was totally clean. But anyway, yeah, and anyone on SNL, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, Chris Rock. Gosh, I love Chris Rock. He's so funny. He's so real. Yeah, so probably not the most interesting. Oh, wow, look at all these claps for Jules. That's great. Hey, Grania, she says, love comedians in cars getting coffee. Yes, that is a great show. Pamela says she has to go now. Cry, cry. Don't cry, Pamela. You can catch the replay later. Yeah, so those are some of the really big comedic influences. Oh, and also Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino. He's in the new Star Wars movies, but I've probably been following him for at least 5 or 6 years, probably before I was in college, so a long time now. When he first started out, he was actually started out on YouTube, just like this, and now he's in a Disney Star Wars film. So, yeah. All right. What other questions do you guys have for me? Be sure to comment. I'm going to read off a couple here. Oh, 30 Rock. Yeah, Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey. Anytime somebody says, oh, you look like Tina Fey, I'm like, Liz Lemon. That was me. That character's written about me. But anyway, Dave wrote to me. He said that they're committed to going full-time now. They're currently downsizing everything. He said, will anything matter now that we're committed to going full-time? And I think he means, will all the stress of it, people thinking he's crazy, things like that, will any of that matter? And I want to say no, it really won't. I mean, you'll have new stressors. It's still life. Full-time RVing is still life. So you'll just find things to replace those stressors in a good and a bad way. Like I've shared many times here, my husband really struggled with full-time life, which meant we really struggled with full-time travel. And so we're taking a little break and just being weekend warriors right now, going on long trips and things like that with a home base. So you find new stressors, you find new amazing things, the amazing things in your life right now, you'll find new amazing things. And so, yeah, I don't think, I think other things will matter. Not that nothing will matter, but other things will matter and will come to play. Also, he asked, how do you gain peace or perspective while you're on the road in those stressful times? Like you guys know, within the first 6 months or 7 months of RVing, I compiled a book called Tales from the Black Tank. And perfect question from Unknown Normal about comedic influences. I think the best way to gain perspective and peace is to be able to laugh, to be able to see a stressful situation and laugh about it and say, you know what, yeah, I do live on in a box on wheels, or I am in the middle of nowhere and my credit card isn't working, and just be able to see the comedy in it. That's how I do it. And if you guys have other ways that you do it in the comments, I would absolutely love for you guys to chime in, especially for Jules, who is going full-time in 3 days. Holy moly. Yeah, so awesome. Heidi, who's in the comments, Heidi, you are so insightful. I just love you. And you guys will remember Heidi from the very, very first episode of TVC Live. She was the virtual spotlight, and she had just hit the road way back then, back in January. So she's got some really great questions here just about me and about life, I think. She said, if you had a completely free day, what would you do with it? I saw that and I just laughed. Here, I'm trying to get the shadow off my face. Sorry, guys. I need a phone book so I can sit here. Anyway, if I had a completely free day, I would watch TV. I hardly ever watch TV. I would scroll on Facebook. I hardly ever do that. I follow a really low information diet. You guys saw my day. Not that it's jam-packed, but I try to be pretty intentional with it. So I would just not be intentional. I would waste a lot of time probably if I had a free day. I would watch a movie that people are always talking about that I never let myself watch. I would have fun. I would go to the pool and I would spend hours there, swimming, laying in the sun, taking a nap, reading a fiction book, something like that. Let me see. That's worse. Sorry, guys. I would do things like that. Things that probably I was doing before I started my website, before I had a daughter. I'd probably also go for a run. I love to work out, so I would go for a run or I would go to the gym. I love doing that. It helps me so much. I'd probably talk on the phone with my sister for an hour and then go out for pizza or something. I would probably just waste time because I'm just one of those people that's really ambitious and really intentional, and so I don't normally waste a lot of time. So if I had a free day to just do whatever I wanted, I would just veg. I'm really a couch potato at heart. That's probably why I've pushed myself so hard not to do that. So I would probably just sit in my bed. I can't sit on a couch because I don't have one. If you guys remember from the video that we just showed, I did not show a couch. We don't have one. We have a box. So I'd probably just lay in bed, watch Netflix, go for a swim, drink copious amounts of Mountain Dew, and eat popcorn. Not really insightful, but that's what I would do. It would be, yeah, Heidi says that sounds like a great day. It would be a Liz day. Yes, it really, really would. Bye, Doug. See you later. Yeah, what would you guys do? I'd love to hear in the comments if you had just a free day, like what would you do? Especially if you're traveling, like if you had a free day where you are right now, where would you go? What would you do? That would be something interesting I'd love to hear. Then she says, and this was so sweet, you guys. She says, what are you struggling with and how can we help? What a doll you are. Right now, I am struggling, honestly, to grow the virtual campground. I mean, it's growing a little bit. I guess the bigger problem is I'm struggling with patience. I can be very impatient because I do things very, intentionally. So I expect big results, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So I'm trying to be patient with myself, patient with the revamping of Fix It Yourself. We sold just about 150 courses. So we have about 150 students, and I want to revamp the course with their suggestions. And, it's taking a while. And so right now I'm struggling with patience. My husband goes to school. He's gone 10 to 12 hours a day, and then he's got to refilm. We have commitments on the weekends, things like that. So it's just taking much longer. We're trying to work with other techs to make sure everything is just the best it can be. So right now I'm struggling with patience. And the best way to help me, I don't know. I guess just keep watching, keep opening my emails, keep encouraging me. It means a lot to me. I have a folder, honestly, you guys. I have a folder. Anytime you guys send me a nice email or write a nice YouTube comment, I screenshot it or forward it to an email folder that says, like, I forget the name of it. It's like feel good. And that's when I'm feeling impatient with myself or like things aren't working. I open it up and I can read through your emails and screenshots, and it makes me feel good. So thank you guys so much, each and every one of you. It's awesome. And thank you for that question, Heidi. It was really sweet. And she also asked, do you volunteer? Because she was saying that's something she wants to get into more. Right now, I do not volunteer, ashamedly. I do volunteer my time with the neighbor boy. I guess that's unofficially. He really struggles with reading. He lives with his single father, who struggles with parenting. We're all there. And so I volunteer my time with him every once in a while to help him with his reading, because I actually do have a master's degree in education and a bachelor's in reading, and I have reading endorsements and things like that. So that was my first passion, my first love, things like that. So that's the only volunteering I'm doing right now. Before I started my website, I actually did a lot of volunteering. I would volunteer in schools, things like that, because I wasn't teaching. So I love to go into the classroom and help teachers out, help school districts out anywhere they need. So I'd love to, once I can get this course going and, bringing in more residual income, things like that, I would love to go back to that, because I really do love teaching children and helping out. All right. And then I have Heather. She was asking me about my blogging story. Hang on, guys. Thank you guys for all these lovely comments. You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. I'm starting to sweat because the air conditioner is not on and it's hot. Heather's asking me, what's your blogging story? How did you get started? Yeah, so that's a really loaded question. If you don't know already, I started my website. I started the virtual campground, I guess, over 2.5 years ago now. We moved into the RV September 2017. October 2017, I found Heath and Alyssa Paget. I saw them blogging on the road, and I thought, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. So I just Googled, how to start a blog. I don't even remember. It all happened so fast. And I set up my WordPress site. It was really hard, but I did it. And I said, I'm going to write 4 blog posts, and I'm going to launch it to the world. And at this time, I didn't actually have a Facebook, and I wasn't on any sort of social media. Like I said, I follow a low information diet. I'm really intentional with my life. That was before I had the blog too. I've always been like that. So I wasn't on social media because I felt like it was a waste of time. It wasted a lot of time. So I wrote the 4 blog posts. I got back on Facebook because they don't delete your account. They just deactivate it. So I activated it after like over a year of being offline. And every day I posted, I think it was 12 months I was offline. And so I posted, last November I did this, last December, and I posted pictures and such. And it was just like this build up of me saying, and now I live in an RV, and you should check out my blog. Little did I know that was great marketing. But now I'm like, wow, that was so genius of me. But so then, it was like, and now today we moved into an RV 2 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, and I just started a blog today. I just launched it today. And within that first day, I asked people to subscribe. I had something like 50 subscribers, and I just got to work, and I've just been working on it ever since. At first, it was literally called LizWilcox.com because I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to talk about RVing, but I didn't know much about RVing. I mean, I had just moved into the RV, so it was more of like a journey, and then I became kind of like the stationary RVer, and I put out some content about that. And then I went to the RV Entrepreneur Summit with Heath and Alyssa Paget. As you saw in the video, I think, maybe I didn't even put that in there. Damn. But anyway, I have a picture of a postcard that they sent me, and I met some partners there. I met Camille Attell there. She's been on the show, I think like episode 8 or something. And we formed an accountability group, and then we added other people. Lindsay McKenzie, she was on last week. Julie Chicory, she's going to be on in 3 weeks. And we started a mastermind, and I launched my book, Tales from the Black Tank. And then we launched Fulltime Freedom Week a couple months after that, and the rest is history. You just keep going. That's basically my blogging story. Is I didn't give up, and I made friends that didn't want to give up either. All right. Jerry's asking, how do you plan to promote your course other to your subscribers and followers? That's a great question. If you're watching and you don't know, I have a course called Fix It Yourself. My husband's an RV tech. We launched it back in March, and like I said, we have about 150 students. I plan on running Facebook ads, getting affiliates. I'd love for you to be an affiliate, Jerry. Wink, wink. Facebook ads, getting affiliates, running ads, or creating lead magnets to basically funnel people in. So I'll have a lead magnet. This is another really blogging type of question here. So I'll have a lead magnet. I'll have something like, hey, get this free thing, and then I'll create a funnel. At the end of 2 weeks or such, I will pitch them the course and try to sell them. So right now I'm just trying to get new subscribers, full disclosure, and so we can launch that course again. And also I would love to sell it again in person at events and things like that, because I did that the first time and it was really hard. It really challenged me, but it was a lot of fun. And I think I have some of my best students from the ones that actually bought it like face to face. Great question, Jerry. Thanks. Can you guys tell my throat is getting tired? Normally I have someone else like talking half the time. Terras asking a great question. Did y'all decide about taking Full-Time Freedom Week in person? We actually were just talking about this right before I came online. We're getting lots of great feedback. We're just, right now, we do want to do it in person. We don't know what that looks like. We did get lots of people that said, yes, we would love to do it. And it looks like that would be somewhere in the southeast region. So we reached out to a couple campgrounds. We're not sure. We know we don't want it to be a big event. We would much prefer it to be, maybe 15 to 30 people that come in where we can actually spend time with you and get to know you, because we're all about community. All 4 of us, if you don't know, the 4 people or the other 3 people that I just said, Julie, Camille, and Lindsay, and myself, we run Full-Time Freedom Week, and we would just really love to have a more intimate Full-Time Freedom weekend than having this big explosion. So we really, really want to do it, and we're only going to accept a few people, and we're just working out the details right now. Thanks for the question. Yeah, Linda said, loved Full-Time Freedom Week. So did I. It's fun. That's kind of what gave me this idea to do the show, because I do the lives like this on Full-Time Freedom Week. Let's see if I saw any more questions here. Dave says, I just spent 2 weekends ago organizing my RV. I got too much stuff. Yeah, Preach it, preach it, preach it. All right, let's see. That same Dave, he asked me, this is a different Dave, but the one I just popped up. He said, how do you deal with rude campers? You know, people that are playing their music loud. Hang on, guys. I got to sit on my foot or something. This shadow is driving me nuts. I'm sure it's driving you guys nuts, too. I have the light in a different place, and now I know why it's in the other place, usually. All right, anyway, how do you deal with rude campers? I don't know. My neighbor, he can be really rude sometimes. Not intentionally. You know how campers can be, especially we're in a park where there's a lot of stationary RVers, if you know what I mean. So he can get really like loud and drunk, and sometimes I literally just go over there and I'm like, hey man, is everything okay? Like, I just heard some noise and I want to make sure everything's okay. And then he realizes he's being a drunk ass and kind of calms down. But sometimes if you can't beat them, join them. I mean, if they're being loud, you're trying to relax, I don't know, go sit by the campfire. When you asked that question, I saw it this afternoon. I was like, I don't know. That's a good question. So if anybody has some good tips on how to actually deal with like rude campers, rude neighbors, pop them into the comments because Dave is here. So, yeah. And then Linda says, how do you make money on the road without a blog? So not blogging, not being on YouTube. Well, let me tell you, I don't make a ton of money blogging or being on YouTube. But a great resource for that actually is Camille Attell. And if you go back, like I said, I think it's episode 9, maybe episode 10, Camille Attell talking about remote work. She gives some great tips there. Or you can go to her website, morethanawheelin, without the G, .com, morethanawheelin.com. And she's my go-to. I actually work for a blogger in customer service, and I make a little bit of money there. And I just answer emails all day. So I think customer service is a great way to make money on the road. But I would also check out the RV Entrepreneur podcast. That's another blogger that I've mentioned a few times, heathandalyssa.com, and they have a podcast called The RV Entrepreneur, and oh my gosh, they have, like something like 170 episodes now, and everybody does something completely different. Yeah, so that's where I would go check that out. I love this. Deans of Nomadica say, the best thing about my 5 years full-time RVing is I haven't paid utilities, rent, mortgage in 4 years. Yeah, amen. We've been RVing almost 3 years. And we talk about sometimes getting an apartment and, really being weekend warriors. And then I think, oh my gosh, it's so easy to just pay one bill every month, right? Or, every 2 weeks, whatever. Not worry about electricity and such. It would be so stressful for me, especially, like I said, I'm pretty minimal. So I love that I have minimal bills, and so it would be stressful for me to have to go back to that sort of lifestyle. Oh, yeah, Celeste says she sells on Etsy. I think that's a great idea. Wow, it's 9 o'clock, you guys. I've been talking for an hour. No wonder I was feeling a little tired. I was wondering why I was feeling so tired and why I couldn't answer that question better. And then I've got one more question, and if you guys have questions still, let me know. Debbie's asking, fear of failure is real when you're an entrepreneur, but somehow I see you keep pushing past your fears to accomplish your goals. I've seen you do a lot of stuff that I would be terrified of doing. How do you conquer your fears when you're forming an online brand? I think that's a great question. Honestly, this is something I've been working on for about 15 years. I've shared this story a few times. I have always been I was always a really shy kid. I was afraid of my own shadow. I didn't speak until, to strangers until maybe like second grade. And so I think I've had a lot more practice for how young I am. But you do it not, you act and then you believe in yourself. So you have to have action before the belief comes, before that fear kind of subsides. And so I know if I just act on my ideas, then the belief in myself, the confidence, the results will show. So when I remember that, I think the simplest way to answer that is I just keep acting and I don't allow myself to be paralyzed first. So I act really fast. I've created 6 digital products either by myself or with those partners that I've mentioned in less than 2 years. So it's just that action that keeps me going, and I do it before I'm afraid. So I hope that answers your question. And now I'm just going to quick end. I think this is a last 2-minute video about the end of my day. All the way to the shower, and I knew that they were working on the men's shower on the other side, but it looks like they've got it all. Ugh.
Are you okay?
Alright, so they've got it plugged in over here, and it's just wicked loud. And who knows, I'm not even going to test to see if the water's on and all that. We're just going to walk over to another shower. Is that okay, Chelsea?
No, they don't have any more showers.
There's another shower. Remember the other one by the duck pond? Here we go. Alright, so we're going to walk over to the other shower. Here we go. And then we walked over to Chelsea's little friend's house. Her name's Ella. She's 6. And just came home, ate some lunch, worked on editing the videos for tonight, actually. And now I'm just going to relax. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 hours to showtime. Ed should be home in like an hour or so. I'm just going to relax. I'm feeling kind of tired. And watch a movie or a show with Chelsea. Ed and Chelsea literally just walked out the door. I didn't film anything like eating dinner or anything. Y'all already know what that looks like. And Chelsea was acting a fool. Anyway, she's been going to bed kind of late and then needing a nap, but we don't want to give her a nap because it's like 6 o'clock at night. But anyway, they are fitting to leave to go to the mall. Now it is nearly 6 o'clock. Yeah, 5:51. 2 hours to showtime. I need to finish editing all these videos, wipe down the table, get ready to go. And there we are. That was my day. I know, wicked interesting. Like, how does she do it all? But thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun answering y'all's questions, and next week, Unknown Normal, Andy and Leslie, some of our favorite virtual campers, are going to come on, and they're going to talk to us all about boondocking. They are absolute pros. I'm super excited. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Yeah, Unknown Normal. Hey, that's us. That's you, baby. I'm super excited for next week, so I hope you guys tune in. And if you have any questions that I didn't answer, just go ahead and email me at liz@thevirtualcampground.com. Happy to answer those or explain more fully anything that I, didn't get to tonight. Thanks, Heidi. She said, love the day in the life of Liz. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on, and I will see you next week. Oh, and I did want to mention I only have a few more episodes before I'm going to take a break. I'm going to San Diego mid-June, and so I will actually be all alone with Chelsea in San Diego. My sister lives there, but she's going to Cambodia, so I'm watching her dogs. So I'll be all alone. I won't know anyone, no one to babysit Chelsea. So we're taking a 2-week hiatus, so we've got 3 more episodes. Unknown Normal is next week. 8 p.m. right here. Thanks, guys, so much.